comes up, or is it just pushing it
No,
to
so
the
it'll
top
just
of
push
the
it to the top.
Heading out for a hill session this morning. I've just pulled this flask out of the fridge, which is one I didn't finish last week. So I'm just going to top it up with some nutrition. So heading out to a different hill today, one that I haven't been to. So it's 40 minutes of hills and then just doing a warm up, cool down, and doing some strides in there too. Yeah, usually I'd probably just take a caffeine gel for one of these sessions and have it, but we're out of those. So we're going for a flask and a caffeine tab. I think this is going to be really strong too.
What did you put in there?
A scoop on top of whatever was in here already. Hills are done, so 15k, took me an hour 14 and ascent was 276, average heart rate 161. So I just went out to a hill kind of close to our place, and James had just kind of pinned me one on my training peaks. So Chris and I ran out there, got out there, and we got to the spot and we were kind of like, doesn't it really look like a hill? It was just this gravel path that looked like it went up and then just flattened out. So I was like, oh well, that's what it was. Like, I'm pretty sure we're in the right place. So I ran up it as part of my warm-up, and it was like maybe 3% at the start, flattened out, and then it kind of had like 3 little ups till we got to the top. It would have been over a K, maybe like 1.5. And then, yeah, just ran easy back down and was like, all right, sweet, well, this is the hill I'm doing. So took that first one as an easy rep, and then the second one was going to be hard. So running hard up, and then just decided I was just going to run hard down as well to get that stimulus too. So turning around to do the hard up, I probably was sitting at like 4-minute pace, and it felt quite nice at the start because it wasn't too steep. And then, yeah, by the time I hit those 3 little ups at the back, I was absolutely hurting. Just kind of having that extended amount of time to do a hill. Usually I've been doing kind of 4-minute reps at Urambi, or I suppose Tuggeranong has been longer, but it's also steeper where you're not like pushing your legs over as hard. So yeah, that hard rep was hard, and I finished the first one and was like, I don't actually know how many more of these I can do. Turn around, ran down hard, and yeah, just took that next one nice and easy. So easy up, easy down, and the whole time I was just thinking about doing another hard rep. Spun around at the bottom, and yeah, went for this last one up hard, and yeah, got to the top, and I looked at my heart rate, I was at like 192. So took like 15 seconds, and then yeah, just went nice and hard back down at the bottom. Yeah, any hill's steep enough if you just run hard enough.
Yeah, those guys are definitely breaking every word.
Okay, so getting into my first habit stack of the week. It's actually Tuesday today, so just a reminder that you don't have to start your habits on a Monday. First one is supplements. So I've really tried to simplify all the supplements that I'm taking and just making sure that I have a purpose and I'm just not taking something for the sake of taking it. So first things first is I take iron. So I take an iron tablet. I have always had low iron. I get my bloods done regularly, my iron's always low, so it's just something I've just learned to start taking every day. If I don't take it every day, I just make sure I take it every second day. I think I read in that book one time, Atomic Habits, where it was like something about just not missing it twice. So if you have it and then you miss a day, just make sure you have it again. With iron, I have a B12 spray. So I take the B12 spray because that's always been low in my bloods as well. Actually tastes super nice. Then I've got omega-3. I should really know more about omega-3. Good for your heart and your brain health. So sounds like a win-win. The only issue I've ever had with these is that they're so big. I've always struggled with tablets, especially if they're the hard ones, like capsules, and I guess these are capsules, gel capsules, are fine. They're a little bit smoother. I can get them down, but any like kind of big Panadol that's just that hard tablet, I don't know, I just really struggle. My mum's always struggled too, so I reckon it's probably something I've picked up from her. I did take creatine for a little while because I've heard such good things, everybody raves about it, and I took it for 2 or 3 months, and I was just finding I was holding so much water weight. I felt heavy, I felt bloated, and potentially like I could have just stuck with it and maybe that would have all went down. But yeah, I was just like, I don't want to be feeling this way and then spending my money on that. Just cut that out. I've been using a fair bit of True products lately, purely because they're HASTA certified. I do ever get drug tested. I'm not thinking that, oh no, what if I've taken something that I shouldn't have? So I've got the plant protein. I'm not vegan. but I do just like to mix up the kind of proteins that I'm getting. Having the plant protein, and then I still drink things like normal milk and yogurt, so I'm getting my dairy in that way. I've been using their electrolyte lately too, and it's super tasty. Usually what I do is I'll have a scoop of it maybe in the morning if I'm just feeling like I just need a bit more liquid, or after say like a hard session like today, I'll pop a scoop in some water and get that down. And then the last thing that I really have been slacking on lately is magnesium. So Pillar's magnesium, you've probably heard about it. Everyone raves on it. I would really love to, not now, to start taking magnesium every night and then start looking at my sleep and seeing if there's any improvements there, like maybe tracking my HRV or the amount of REM that I'm getting, and seeing if magnesium is actually aiding me in that way. But for now, it's just easy enough to take before bed, gets me drinking some water, and yeah, it tastes pretty good too. They're just 5 supplements that I take. They're simple, I don't have to overthink it, and yeah, they just leave me feeling pretty good at the end of the day. So we just had a ASICS WEAR test. We did it out at Red Hill, and we had Sam Hopper here with the ASICS van. Probably had 10 people turn up. A few of the ASICS crew, which was really good. Yeah, met at the top of Red Hill, so it was beautiful morning, had such a nice sunrise, and then waited for it to lighten up a little bit, and then just headed out on a little 6K trail loop. I mapped out this loop a few weeks ago, and yeah, it was wicked. It was just nice and wide and downhill at the start, and then we hit this nice single track on the way down, and then yeah, just took a nice little path up back to the top to finish. Got to the finish, and we'd organised just to have some coffee and some pastries, so picked those up from Wildflower in Kingston. And yeah, everyone just kind of hung out, talked about the shoes. So we had 5 different shoes that we were trialing out today. We had the Meta Fuji Trail Trabuco Max 5, the Fujilite 6, Fuji Speed 4, and the Trabuco 14. I wore the Fujilite 6s, and they're actually amazing. Real basic shoe, low to the ground, pretty flexible, but soft enough foam that they were just super comfy to run in. I could honestly wear them all day. So yeah, just a super nice morning. We're just leaving now. It's almost 10 o'clock, so we spent a lot of time there. I just did an extra 4Ks along the ridge line before we left, and yeah, day off today, so just chilling out. It's 2:30, just got to the gym, so I'm going to do about an hour of strength. Kind of like a general gym routine that I'll do is I'll do like a little bit of a warm-up where I'll do some balance pads, so working on those stabilizing muscles in my feet and my ankles. Some crab walks just to warm up my hips, my knees, my glutes. And then I'll go into some single leg glute bridges. So generally I keep these pretty light. I'll do kind of 15 kilo bar. And then I'll do some cable stuff where I'm just working on my adductors and my abductors, strengthening my hip flexors. So I kind of group all of that into a warm up, and then I'll go into a bit of a heavier set. So I'll do some Bulgarian split squats, which are so good, but they just hurt so much. Usually I'll just hold some dumbbells and kind of do 4 sets of 8 on each leg. I'll do single leg press. I'll pair that with some back extension and calf raises. So I'll do kind of like 2 different types of calf raises each time I come to the gym. I'll do standing calf raises, and I'll always do an isometric hold at the end, so holding for about 10 seconds under weight. Then I'll also do some seated calf raises, so we're just working different muscles. And yeah, always doing single legs just to make sure that I'm getting the same kind of load balance between both legs. After that, I do like shin toe lifts, so where you have like a weight on your toe and you're lifting your toe back, and it kind of works that shin muscle. And then some plyometrics, so like lateral bounds where I'm jumping side to side, or doing some box jumps, so jumping off a box, landing on a single leg, or jumping off a box, landing on both legs, and then kind of like jumping up straight away. I find that just really good for trail running, like that impact that you get running downhill is really good just to build that strength and those stabilizing muscles in the gym. I have been finishing off with some core, but I've just been finding this gym session is taking me quite a long time. So right now for core, I'm just literally doing that at home, doing a 10-minute workout that I just get from YouTube, and just finding I can squeeze that in on days where I don't have gym and just do it kind of like before dinner. It's just a way I find that I am able to manage my time a bit better. And on that time management, so my second habit stack that I've implemented today is having a routine wake up. So 5 a.m. is the time that I've found that works for me. It's like that time in the morning where I have it to myself. I don't have anything on. I kind of just have time to sit and let my brain tick over with just some like normal thoughts that come in. Yeah, I mean, Monday, Tuesday this week, I slept until 6. I kind of had no reason to get up, and it just wasn't the time to start. So Wednesday today, I had to be up anyway to go and do this run with ASICS. Made it nice and easy. We've got these lights in our room where I can just automatically set it. The light turns on at 5, and it's just a much nicer way to wake up than having like an alarm blaring in your ear. And I find the actual hardest thing is not waking up in the morning, but it's trying to go to bed early enough to make sure that I'm getting, 7 or 8 hours sleep each night. There's just never enough time before bed for me to do the things that I want to do. But yeah, it just comes down to a bit of time management, planning ahead, and just staying on top of it.
Yeah, nice.
Thursday today, and my next habit stack is staying on top of my meals. So I've had a dietitian in the past and spoke to her about kind of the things I should be eating, how much of everything I should be having as well. And I do have a bit of like a daily meal plan that I follow. Been a bit slack at sticking to this lately. So this week, been trying to get back on top of that. Basically, I just have like set breakfasts, set lunches, set dinners that make sure I meet my proteins, my carbs, and my fats. Usually I'll be eating more carbs on session days or days where I've got doubles, and then eating a little bit less carbs on days where maybe I just have easy runs or a rest day. So one of my breakfast options is oats with just protein, oats, milk, honey for fat. Yeah, if it's a session day, I'll add a piece of fruit. So I just find that popping this into a blender, blending it up, and then just taking it in the car to work is the easiest way I can manage my time. Also, really good thing for me is smoothies make it so much easier for me to take tablets. So just being like a little bit chunkier, I just find I can swallow them a lot easier. Next thing I do is I just make sure I have lunches prepped. So example A, really simple. I'm a pretty basic person. I don't mind eating the same thing every single day. Most of the time I've got rice, and then I've got some veg, and then I'll either have chicken or I'll have a mince. I weigh this out, I've got a certain amount that I have, and yeah, literally just will make, say, 5 of these at the start of the week, pop them in the freezer, and then yeah, whenever I'm heading off to work, I just grab one out. And then I'll also grab just some quick, easy food options too. So today I've just gone for 2 muesli bars. So I've got a paleo one from Aldi, and then a Carmen's bar too. I've got a peanut allergy, so the biggest thing for me is just trying to find muesli bars that don't have peanuts in them. It is pretty easy, but I just find Carmen's is the most simple and the one that I like the best. And yeah, if I have it too, I'll just throw in some fruit, so either like an apple or a banana. If I say I miss having some snacks during the day, I just make sure that I eat them later on, maybe even like before dinner when I get home, just to make sure I'm getting the good amount of calories in. And then yeah, dinners are real simple too. Usually it's rice, meat, veg, or we have wraps a lot, so wraps, chicken or meat, and a bit of salad in there. Like I said, simple person, makes it easy, nice and quick. And yeah, just before bed, I'll just, if I've got a session or like a long run the next day, I'll just make sure I have a bit of dessert, either some cereal or some Milo. If I don't, I'm just getting that magnesium down, and then yeah, heading to bed to hopefully get 8 hours or more sleep. I'm officially at the time of the week where none of my clothes match, because everything's in the wash. So I'm heading out for a 40-minute double. So I built run this morning, 40 minutes now. And yeah, it's just stopped raining. So this is just my opinion, but I'm running the lake again because it's raining and the trails would be pretty slippery. I just wasn't interested in that right now. It's almost 7 o'clock. But it just made me think, it's been 20 minutes and it has felt like the longest 20 minutes of my life. So if you're someone that struggles with motivation or just like gets bored on your easy runs, my suggestion would be go find a trail, even if it's an out and back. It doesn't have to be hard, it could be nice and easy. And literally just running for 20 minutes out, turning around and coming back makes time go so much faster. And even just being on the trail, it's going to give you something else to focus on. Watching where your feet are going up little undulations. Yeah, food for thought. I've also got Christian shock songs, they're waterproof. So I'm listening to like a mix of hip hop, rap, motivational quotes. So that could also be what's feeling like a lifetime.
She said, it'll take, like you might not feel it in the moment, but an hour later, you just have super achy,
Friday this morning, day off running. So it was really nice to wake up this morning and yeah, not have anything on, just open my eyes, get up at 5. I did 30 minutes of yoga and then just did a few things around the house that I haven't gotten to during the week. So this brings me to my next habit stack, which is going to be mindset or like mental talk. So I've noticed a lot in myself lately. I have been very busy. I've been saying a lot that I feel stressed. And then once I step away from that and I kind of sit back and look at why I'm feeling stressed, I'm like, I don't think I am actually stressed. I think I keep telling myself that I'm stressed and then that's bringing itself to life. So what I'm trying to be mindful of is not bringing these thoughts into my head, because that almost creates the situation. If I have a few things that I need to do, I just need to write them down. I can see them on paper and then I just get to them when I get to them. I don't have to sit back and look at everything as this whole big hard task that is just unachievable. It's just, stepping away from it and being like, okay, look, I'm not stressed. I have some things to do. Let's just get them done. And a similar sort of thing, like a thought that comes up a lot is, I just don't have time. I do have time. I'm just not making the time. So prioritizing the things that I need to do against the things that I want to do is a big one as well. And then kind of bringing this into training, it's really important. Waking up at 5 a.m. and knowing that I have, say yesterday, like a hard build run that I'm going to have to do. It can be quite tough. So by waking up at 5, giving myself enough time just to like relax, let my body warm up, let my brain wake up, and then heading out for the session at 6:45, I roll out my muscles. I just like mentally prepare that way so that I can set myself up for a good session, rather than just waking up, getting out of bed, rushing out the door, and then during the whole run, if I was to do that, I would just be thinking, I'm too tired, I wasn't ready. So just setting myself up in a good place from the start. And then this kind of just prolongs throughout the week. I know I have lots of training to do. I love doing the training. Yes, it does get hard, but it's a choice that I've made to kind of like follow this path. So I keep reminding myself that, yeah, it's not going to be easy all the time. It's going to be hard. There's going to be days where I don't want to get up. I don't want to train. Maybe I don't want to go to the gym in the afternoon or do that double. But by separating the single session into like the bigger picture, it definitely makes it easier. And then, yeah, looking at the long-term goal of where I'm trying to go rather than just that particular day and that particular feeling, push the feeling aside, do the work, and then, yeah, it's going to pay off in the long run. So on Wednesday for the ASICS WEAR test, I wore the Fujilite 6s. Loved them. So I had to get myself a pair. So keen as, yeah, to head out today just for an easy run. I've got 60 minutes on the trails. So yeah, gonna give them another spin. As soon as I put this shoe on, I was like, this is the shoe I've been looking for. It's a shoe where I can feel the ground, and it's something that I know is just gonna be comfortable for the entire run. So I'll just talk you through a few things that I really enjoy about this shoe. We'll start with the bottom. So on the bottom, you've got your ASICS grip. You can see that the grip's broken up a little bit. So this actually gives the shoe a little bit of flexibility. There's 4mm lugs, so I found that kind of 3.5 to 4mm lugs is where I find I get the most traction from a shoe. So really love that. Then having a look at the foam, so we've got this nice soft foam here. It's the ASICS FF Blast Plus, so it's like a plush soft cushion under your foot. And then they've added a little bit of lateral support here in the shoe, so a little lateral wrap, and that's just meant to help with a little bit of stability on the trails. Coming up to the upper, it's pretty lightweight. And then looking at the laces, you've just got this really good system that provides like a nice secure fit in the shoe. I just love that it's simple. There's no extra bits to this shoe that you don't need. You're kind of using everything that it has. It's got the little lace tie down, which like I've mentioned before, love it. And yeah, just can't wait to head out and have another run in these. Quick comparison though to the Trabuco Max 5s that I do run in. So I'll just give you a quick look at both, and you can kind of see what the differences are. So Trabuco Max 5, this is like your max cushion shoe. So you can obviously see that in the base. Quite chunky, looks a little bit more low profile. They do actually use the same foam on the base. So I mentioned that this shoe was quite flexible, and you really feel that when you're running on the trails. Whereas the Max is like a little bit more stiff. So you do feel like you're on a little bit of a platform when you are running. I found the upper on the Max can tend to fit like a little bit loose, but it's also a nice feeling because I feel like my toes just have heaps of room to move around. I do find it quite secure around the midfoot. And then in the light, I just find that like the whole shoe just fits nice and secure. I'm like super confident with where I'm placing my foot on those technical trails. I know where my feet are going. I know what the ground feels like. Whereas the Trabuco Max 5 probably gives a bit more of a different feeling where you're sitting a little bit higher. So you're almost like a little bit more cautious of where you're placing your foot. But yeah, the Trabuco Max 5, love these for long runs and even like those fire road to like moderate technical trails. Really, really good shoe. It actually probably looks a little bit higher stack than it feels when it's on your foot. And then the Fujilite 6, I would say this is probably more aimed towards like even racing or those more technical trails when you've got those rocky descents and you just want to be really confident with where your foot's going. The only other consideration I'd be a little bit careful about is if you're used to running in, say, like some different Brooks shoes or some ASICS, maybe even some Nikes, lots of these have a 8 to 10 mil pitch, which means your heel sits that much higher than where your toe does. Generally, a higher pitch will offload your calves and Achilles. So then if you bring that pitch down to, say, a 4, which the Fujilite 6s have, or a 5 mil drop, which the Trabuco Max 5s have. Seems like a small difference, but it's definitely something that could potentially flare up either of those, so your calf muscle or your Achilles tendon. So just being like a little bit aware. Check what the drop of the shoe is that you're currently running in, and then compare it to the shoe that you're going to get. And then if you kind of see that and you notice that, or maybe, you know, it's quite a difference, or you start wearing the shoe and you're getting like some awareness in the back of your leg, you can pick up, so I've used these for a bit. This is like pretty worn out, but you can get these heel lifts. You can get them from physios, or you can just jump online and get like a, I don't know, 5-10 pack, pretty cheap. And this is an 8 mil. I think you can get heaps of different sizes, but you basically just slide this into the heel of your shoe. It's got sticky stuff on the back, so you just literally slot it in under that inner sole, and then that just gives you a little bit more lift at the back. And it doesn't have to be a permanent solution. You can just use it for a little while, and then you can even swap between different drops of shoes, just until your muscles and your tendons get used to that change. Run done, 12 Ks, 149 meters elevation, and it took me an hour and 2 minutes. Yeah, great shoe. I think it's easy to get caught up on, you know, all the data in shoes, like the performance of it, the plate that it's got, the material it's made of, and it's like, at the end of the day, a fast shoe is a comfortable shoe. So these are the lights that I have that change color. So you can go into the app and literally just change the color of the light. Just do whatever you're feeling. Go white. I'm just going to wrap up this video today, so Saturday. Actually heading to the Blue Mountains tomorrow, so going to go do a recce run of the UTA course. So really looking forward to that. And that's just going to bring me to my last habit stack of the week, which is going to be mobility. So this week I've been dealing with just a few niggles. I know they're not a big deal, but they're definitely things that I need to get on top of. And I know that these things are popping up because I've been slacking off in certain areas, like missing a few gym sessions, not rolling out as much at nighttime, not doing little bits of mobility that you, at the time, you just think they're so useless. Like those exercises that the physio gives you and says, you need to do these, this is going to help you. And you just think like, oh, useless. I want a quick fix. It's like, no, those things are the things that actually really work. So for me, a few things, just like doing a few calf raises, rolling out my calves because they tend to get really, really tight, doing some hip flexor stretches, and then doing things like clams with a band that really work that outside butt muscle. So yeah, literally just implementing this. It's going to be 15 minutes before bed every night ideally, but if I miss a night, not the end of the world. I'll just do it for the next one. I won't go through all my stats for the week because obviously the week's not over, still got tomorrow, but currently I'm sitting at 73 Ks and 1,000 meters elevation. 3-hour run tomorrow, so bump that up just a little bit. See you then.